This is Cange, Haiti, and this is the story of its transformation as we saw it.
Sort of the blossoming of Cange began when the dam that was built in the Pellegrin River, or the Ottley, forced people up out of the valley, and Deb speaks very eloquently about how that farmland was so vital to people. And when that was ruined and the people had to come up out of the valley and reinstate their lives, which happened in the, 1950s?
Yes.
In the 1950s.
Late 50s.
Right. Then Père Lafontaine, who was an Episcopal priest, he started a mission, or a sort of resettlement mission from his church here with these people who had to start their lives all over.
Cange is located in the Central Plateau, one of the most remote and deforested areas of Haiti. Paul Farmer, the American anthropologist and physician best known for his humanitarian work in Haiti, describes the region as a place where suffering is certainly a recurrent and expected condition, and if one is initially struck by the austere beauty of the region's steep mountains and clement weather, long-term visitors come to see the Central Plateau in much the same manner as its inhabitants do, a chalky and arid land hostile to the best efforts of the peasant farmers who live there.
And you know, to keep up with this project, I come frequently. Last year I went I came 8 times here. And I take long weekends. I teach till Wednesday, and then I take a weekend Thursday through Tuesday. And it's so easy to get here from the Port-au-Prince airport that it's possible to have those short trips.
Cool.
And a little promotion for the Global Village. Coming from Nashville to Port-au-Prince is pretty easy. So the fact that you can come from Nashville, Tennessee, and get to Port-au-Prince, I'm in Port-au-Prince by noon.
But Cange hasn't always been so easily accessible.
Before the earthquake, I mean, the idea of going to the Central Plateau, that was like going to East Timor.
Yeah.
Why would you go there? There's nothing there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because you have, the other places, Artibonite, that's like the breadbasket of Haiti, and in the south, they have beautiful beaches, and
Yeah.
But Central Plateau was just, that was known for deforestation, point blank. Ou mèm nou yon moun di Plateau Central, ki ide entre nan tèt ou?
Bon, on va dire que je connais Plateau Central.
Before today, I didn't know the Central Plateau.
But c'est toujours intéressant de parler du Plateau Central.
But I was always interested when people were talking about it.
Yeah, parce que c'est un pays qui est important en tant qu'haïtien pour connaître.
Because it's a part of our country, so as a Haitian person, I should know about it.
But I'm not sure I'm très calme, très familial, parce que nous trouvons que l'expérience est belle et un peu
While we were on the road, I found that it was very pretty and very familiar to me, and we talked to several people who were very kind.
Yeah, parce que quand on va nous découvrir, par exemple,
And there were several things that we discovered on the way.
yeah, on est très bon, pas
The road is good.
yeah,
No holes.
La température à tout, vraiment intéressant.
The temperature, the weather is really nice up here.
Et puis là, nous avons assez important pour moi, peut-être que je connais Plateau Central et que je vais parler pour l'autre monde de ville là.
Now I understand the importance of knowing the Central Plateau, and I want to talk to other people about coming here.
C'est du bon. Là que c'est un natif natal haïtien, pour qu'on ait un peu de dans le pays, là, on
It's
a parlé
good when
de
you're
quoi
born
assez
and bred
tourné.
Haitian to know every part of the country.
Et puis qu'on y a là, il était un bon solo. On peut te dire qu'on a pris.
And later on, we're going to see Sodo, which is a place that I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, it's cool.
Shown here is the exterior wall of Zami La Zante, Cange's hospital. This is an example of the recent infrastructural growth, funded almost entirely by international dollars. And a view from the inside looking out shows 2 different faces of this global village.
Well, in my opinion, Cange, when it first started, we had a lot of donors. It means there was a lot of fundraising. Apart from the money that we have for the health programs, a lot of money that came from fundraising. So funds, World Bank, World Food Program, we have money coming from a bunch of places for a bunch of programs.
Cange has a complex political economy. The distribution and appropriation of resources is highly contentious, and you get the sense that there are many competing narratives. Firstly, between international and domestic interests, and secondly, between the rural and the urban.
One of my questions is about the decentralization, because that's a big goal of the government, right? Is to spread resources out into the periphery of the country rather than in Port-au-Prince. Do you think that that's been effective so far?
In general, not really.
Not really?
No, because there are a lot of places like Cange, for example. I seriously don't see how it's going to be done yet because there's not enough infrastructure.
In Cange, the dominant narration of urban transformation centers around the establishment of Zanmi La Santé, built by Paul Farmer and the Episcopal Church, which provides free healthcare and education to rural Haitians. The focus of this film has been the subsequent infrastructural improvements, which have radically altered Cange's accessibility to urban areas, its built environment, and its exposure to international people. The opening of the Central Plateau, which has been facilitated by infrastructural improvements such as roads, cable internet, reliable phone service, and power supply, is clearly visible in this clip and is still a work in progress, as Dr. Allen stated.
Here we enter the campus of Zanmi La Santé, just off of Route 3. Both the hospital and the highway were funded mostly by international money. This very road now connects the entirety of the country from north to south.
I could say, when I first came here, the Central Plateau seemed very desolate, and then this was an oasis in the middle of the Central Plateau, like one of the only places that was forested, and it was just amazing to see what could be done when the church and NGOs, put their heads together to make something happen. But yeah, like I said, it was like an oasis. Now that's not so. You have the road that's paved all the way to Hinge, and so people who lived in Port-au-Prince their whole lives and never went to Hinge, now it's much easier to get to Hinge. People, pass by that way just to see it. They go the long way to Cap-Haïtien if they're going to Cap-Haïtien, just to check it out.
And we were told that maybe Wyclef was part of funding for that.
I don't know if that's
and
true.
The billboards also said European Union. But anyway.
I heard that he paved from Quadabuque up Morne Calvary, which is the giant, switchbacks that you see, that part. But I also heard that was completely erroneous, and it was the government under Preval. Under Preval was the one who set it all in motion, and then Martelli just, kept agreeing to fund it, to finish it all the way to Hinge. But Preval did it almost to Hinge himself. Wow. Anyway, now it's when you're coming from Port-au-Prince, now Mirabale is like a neighborhood of Port-au-Prince almost. It's almost that way, because Quadabuque is coming to the mountain where you have the resettlement of all the earthquake victims that's reaching almost to the mountain. Then you have the mountain, and you're almost to Mirabale then. On our way here on a Sunday, we saw people that were just out, in their cars for Sunday drive, going to Sodo, going to eat at a hotel in Mirabale, just out. They call it flâner in Creole.
And that's a
just
French
lollygagging
word.
around.
From Paris, the flaneur, like the
a
the
flâneur.
The flaneur, right?
Yeah.
They just walk the city. That's something we learn around our global cities class. The way that people start to experience cities in sort of a leisurely way, I guess, rather than a utilitarian way, I guess.
Doing tourist locale now, local tourism. But, so when I first came here, this was an island, like from Port-au-Prince to Cange, and it was this big deal. And now it's like, Port-au-Prince, Quadabuque, Mirabale, Cange, no big deal, like one bit,
Cange has gotten more
not
traffic.
any big deal, like driving to Nashville or something. Not a big deal.
Traffic to Cange will continue to increase. This ever-evolving global village will only become more accessible as its transformation continues. Henry, how's the Haitian coffee?
It's so good. It's very, very good. It's a little earthy, but it's very good.
And what do you think it tastes like?
It tastes a lot like dirt.
But
It's a good kind of, no, it really is a good kind of dirt.